bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see.
Hey guys, today's video is going to be a couple different Thanksgiving preparations. Today I'm going to be making a banana bread and a cherry pie, and I will link both recipes down below that I have used for many years. Right here I am just mixing together the butter and the sugar. So now I'm just going to crack a couple eggs. I am doubling the batch for this recipe, just so you know, but I will give you guys the ingredients on each clip of just the regular recipe, and if you want to double it, you're more than welcome to. So now that the butter and sugar are creamed together, I'm going to go ahead and add my eggs, and you're going to want to make sure that you whisk your eggs before you put them in the mixture. So now I'm just adding my mashed bananas. What I do is I put them in a bowl and I just take a fork and I mash them up all together, and then I'll just add them into the mixture. So here is my flour, and I have mixed together baking soda as well as some salt to the flour. I also like to add a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg to the bread. It adds a little bit of warmth to the bread, but if you don't like those seasonings, you do not have to add them. Now you're going to want to grease your pans, and because I doubled a batch, I'll be making 2 loaves of bread, whereas if you just do the regular recipe, you will only make 1 loaf of bread. So I took a paper towel and I used a little bit of Crisco, and then I put some flour on the pan as well, just so that way the banana bread will pop right out of the pans when it's all finished baking. So now I'm just making a little additional cinnamon sugar for the bread. I'll sprinkle this on top, and again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. So now you're just going to pop the breads into the oven at 350 degrees, and you're going to want to cook them for about an hour. I usually check them with like a toothpick just to make sure that they aren't gooey in the middle still. Alright, and now that you have that set, let's move on to the cherry pie. So now that you have drained your cherries into a bowl, you're going to use a little bit of that liquid to the mixture. You don't want to use it all because your cherry pie will come out too runny. So now I'm just adding the cherries to that mixture. Now I'm just adding some sugar to the cherries. Now you're going to add the tapioca to that mixture as well, and you're going to let this mixture sit after you have stirred it up for about 20 minutes. This will help to thicken and get all the ingredients work together. So fast forward 20 minutes, and now I'm going to add my cherries to the pie crust. I just used a already made pie crust. I know I cheated, but you could make some homemade pie crust if you'd like. I think the Pillsbury pie crust tastes just as good. So now I am cutting about a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to cut that into some smaller pieces. And what you're going to want to do with this is dot it on top of your pie just in all different spots. So now I'm just adding the top pie crust to the top of the pie, and I'm going to try to tuck the top part under the bottom part, if that makes sense, or behind it, just so that way if your pie kind of starts to explode, it's not going to spill as much because the pie crusts are kind of worked together and tucked together. Okay, so this is what your pie should look like. I am just going to cut a few slots in the top of it and it'll be ready to bake. And I'm just going to add a little bit of red sprinkles on top to make it a little bit more festive. Okay, the banana bread is all done, and this is what it should look like when it is finished. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.